Well, hello, my friends. It's Kate in the nest. Welcome to my nest. Welcome to the day. I hope you are well and happy. And let's get into some stitching. I have to start with a huge thank you. My little Kate's Bazaar has just opened and it is already going so well. I'm beyond. I just actually am in a little bit of shock. So I did say to my husband, I need to go down and stitch and just reflect and be kind to the people who have brought me to this amazing place. So I want to share with you a big project, and you've seen little bits of this already, but we're going to really dig into it now because I want to get it done. And it is a quilt, and I worked on this at the Green Door yesterday. So I've shown you, I think before, this magnificent tablecloth. This is the corner, and my friend Marilyn said, it's almost like it was meant, and I think she's right, to be viewed from the corners up where it draped down, because this looks like a basket, and here are the flowers. Obviously they're flowers, and then they're trailing. So for me, for someone who loves flower to flower, it's perfect. So that happens in each of the corners, and then there's a connecting flower, and this work is absolutely divine. And I'm not going to apologize if I've shown you before, because who can believe the patience of a maker who did all of those tiny little stitches, all of those cross stitches, and then magnificently in the corner, and then these divine flowers, which are unusual, and as well as being in my favorite colors. So this is going to be the basis. I've told you before that many pieces I keep in my collection. While I might have a reputation for harvesting, I know pieces that can't be touched. So this one is staying whole, but I am going to embellish it so it is another flower to flower type quilt, as well as bringing in my idea of still life and baskets and vases and things like that, and a little bit of my floral influences from India. So what have I done so far? I have merely taken the tablecloth, which is a square, and backed it with a vintage cream blanket, which will eventually be covered. Now, I haven't even thought on looking around. I have a beautiful vintage sheet that I think will be soft enough. I tried that for the first flower to flower quilt, and it wasn't it didn't work on that piece, but I think I have the right color one, and I think I got it in down with Bron and Sarah. I'm not sure, but yeah, I feel like I have the right thing. So I have invisibly stitched this down, or tiny tacking, or whatever I think I like calling it tiny tacking. It's because you can see it. I started in the center and just went, you can probably see them along there, from the center out and up and across, and then within, I come to my nest and I literally get the hay fever. Oh my gosh. And I need to say also, thank you for lovely comments that are coming to me through, through my newsletter, through this channel, through Instagram, through Facebook. Just beautiful, beautiful people you are. And I don't take that for granted. So as I sit down here, I do really always say that I feel surrounded by friends and flowers. And if the flowers in my garden and trees make me hay fevery, that is, while I film, that's a very small thing to put up with. Okay, I keep showing you these flowers because I love them so much. All right, so basically, if you want to do something like this, subcloth, tablecloth, whatever you've got, and this is in a vintage style. This isn't going to, I don't know. I can't say that. I was about to say won't go too Larry, but who knows, it may. And blanket, tiny tacked down, and I am going to focus at first on the center, and then I will, who knows, I can't even say that. I'm very attracted, I'll confess now, to those little bits in there, and I'd love to fill them up with tiny bits of stitching. I've got my little tiny basket that I did in the my ever first Roxy's journal of stitching, and it still sits here. I had something in it and I've taken it out, but this sort of tiny piece with embroidery is something I'm thinking could go in those corners, so it doesn't detract, but it adds. So that's the sort of idea. The other food for thought is, get ready, this is part of the garden through the window piece that I have layered upon layered. It's up to its third iteration of how does it all go together on the new piece, and I've just decided that it doesn't work as a whole. So what we're going to do, and I know some of you love this and others hold your breath, so it's one of those sorts of afternoons. I'm just literally going to cut around the various flowers that are already on here and make a pile of, I could call them scrappy bits, but we can't call this beauty. Well, I think it's beautiful. This is a heart that I made at one stage, and I think I wanted it to be the center of one iteration of this quilt, but I don't think it works unadorned. So I'm going to take that off in its heart shape. And work on that separately. I think I showed you all my hearts the other day, didn't I? That one and this one. And so I'm thinking the hearts don't belong in the middle of my quilt. I've got plenty of them. So that heart is going to go and be a heart project. This style from my project pouch, which I took traveling with me, could work. So I'm going to go back to this. So I'm looking on here for smaller pieces. I'm just looking at colors. Yeah, they're going. So if you like, this is a sort of a choppy uppy. I haven't stitched yet, is what I'm trying to say. That one I don't think I will use, so that will go in my nest of scrappy bits. And it's a good way sort of to analyze what was going on. I do love this needlepoint, but I have realized that the black behind it has been a bit daunting. Now, how many layers can I save some blanket? I think I can. So this was originally on a blanket square. What's this down here? Sometimes I just pull and hope for the best, because if I can save that blanket, it's there for another project. Oh, how many times does, I know this isn't exciting viewing, but I hope you're stitching along, crocheting, knitting. It's been lovely to hear your very kind words about, in my newsletter this month, my influence or influencer, I wrote about my mum, and she is well. I did share all the things that she can do, and quite a lot of you have said that that has helped you remember lovely people in your lives who have inspired you to make and to do. So thank you for sharing those memories with me. So this is sort of also a insight into my crazy way of sewing, because I don't know why I put that piece of blanket on that blanket, because there must have been something here. Oh, it was originally the tablecloth. Okay, it's coming back. All right, I'm going to take out this black needlepoint now, and I don't really like that piece of stitching there, so we'll just go over the top. And get this piece out. Feel like I'm doing surgery. Gee, I love a medical series on Netflix. I've run out at the moment, and I love stitching at night. I've watched The Resident, and in the holidays we're going to watch, I think it's called The Pit. But if you've got any other recommendations, I might have to go back and watch Grey's Anatomy from the beginning. I've got ER, but it's not holding my attention as much as it used to, and I think I've already watched that about 3 times. Yeah, I love that little bit. That was a different piece of fabric, so I might actually... So these are sort of little morsels that will have, well, how many lives have these little bits had already? I'm thinking, see, this is why I love just talking out loud with you. If I cut that round like that, I'll get more roses, and it makes it easier to work around the black. I'm just going to do it now. So we'll make these into leaves without the black background. Oh, it looks a little like an apple stem. And look at that. The blanket will come off now. She says. Yep. I'll just trim it. Yep. See, that's a nice shape. That could be part of collage there. Maybe my little girl's dress is too flighty. So we'll leave the gold trim. So we're pruning, that's what we're doing. Right, so there. Got this. I quite like that dark bit, but it might come off anyway. So I've got little French knots there in gold. Okay, so little morsels. Little rosebuds with a little bit of stitching. What else have we got on here? This is part of my O letter from the kin. And let's just follow the natural curve of the flowers. You see there's quite a lot of layering here. I've buried my good Karen's scissors. Again, that could come off. So what's the lesson in all of this? Did I intend to put these bits together to have them come apart? No, I didn't, but no time is ever wasted in this way. And they might have new lives. I think it's a bit of a weird shape. I do think I've got to come back to some flowery petal shapes there. And I'll put this back in my scrappy bits. I do love that because look, I've got my beading. So it's also like a history lesson of when Kate tried out things. Now I feel like, what was I about to say? I just want to do more and more and more. Okay, that's more like it. I'll leave that bit of blanket on for the moment. So you're getting the idea, aren't you? There's some pretty bits. I think this is pretty. And we'll go under this crochet. And up here, wants to fly away a bit, this piece of blanket. So yeah, this has got a different blanket underneath it. So in some places, it will build up layer. But also, this idea of picking up a cross stitch and growing up words might work. Let's leave that bit of vintage. It's got a blanket underneath it. And it's interesting, I'm liking it a lot more as I pull it apart. But I couldn't get the sum of the parts to work. I've got something buried under there. So have you got decorations up if you celebrate Christmas? How was your Thanksgiving if you were have just finished that. I found it hard to keep up on the news with. It seemed like it was Black Friday and Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday, and I just hope you've all taken it in your stride. So see, that there, to me, looks like a piece that could go onto there, about there, and just be the start of a garden. So I'm going to commit to that. Now I have gone over, remember my rule about trying not to go over too many of the stitches. I've gone over those cross stitches, but I'm going to leave many others. So I think I have to just accept on a project like this that some stitching might end up being a little covered. So why don't we turn it around like this, just so you get that beautiful colour there. And see, with a little bit of trimming, there's another idea taking shape. But I can't cover any of those flowers up. But I am getting on a roll, thanks to you. This looks a bit funny colour, but I like the idea. Anyway, let's just keep chomping into it and see what other things we can find. Now this orange we don't often see in embroideries, but that matches that. I've got this water lily over here, and it's already onto this half a doily. The other subtle difference is, and this is what my eye tells me, you mightn't feel the same, but I like that this is, I don't know, I'm going to say it's Irish linen. It's beautiful linen, but it's also cream, where this other tablecloth I started out with was very white. And I know we can always tea dye, but I actually really am loving I find that colour inspiring. Okay, what's going to happen here? So again, I've put that over the top of something. Okay, I need help. I'll just cut across here for the moment. I'm deconstructing an already deconstructed piece. Now I've got low power. Okay, so I put that lily up there. It won't stay, but I'm just giving you the idea. That is going to come off by itself. So I'll just fussy cut into there a little bit. We are about to have a heat wave. I don't know whether I can call it a heat wave, but we've had quite chilly weather. Well, it just doesn't know what it's doing. But we're having really cold mornings, like 3 or 5 degrees. And then tomorrow in the day, I think it's still going to be a slow start. And then it's going to go up to 30 or something, 33. Okay, look at that. And that's what I mean. I'm not going over any of the flowers, but that would fit beautifully in there. Will we just play one more time? It's probably more benefit to me than you, but let's look at this beautiful set of roses. And I've done some big cross mark making, I could call that there. I might leave the background on for the moment, not that bit of purple. This is quite thick. How many layers of blanket have you got, Kate? No, I've got only one blanket, but I've got layer upon layer of fabric. And do you remember that crocheted doily? Well, not crocheted, it's actually an embroidered. I think I bought that home as well. So look, are you like me? I tend to remember most times where I got things. Let's go up here. And I don't feel like taking all of those leaves, just one. Because it's a slightly different green, which is not a bad thing in itself. And it could sort of zip in here a little way. All right, so that leaves me all these other bits. See, I don't actually want to stop. The garden is just getting a big pruning. And will I need those brown? Usually I was about to say I won't keep those brown, but now I've learned let's fussy cut brown here. I'll sit back down. Sit back down. Like that. So that's for a contrast of a more autumny bit, which I don't know where that will go to. Leave that bit. And then we'll just finish it off. And then we'll see how many. Oh, it's a little bit of textile from a Beck kit. And there's a pretty bit of garden as well. Okay, so where did our pruning get us to? A lot of little scrappy bits, but basically that one big funny thing has turned into inspiration for another piece of garden. Yep, I'm happy. I hope you are too. And even if you don't like what I'm doing, I hope those flowers are bringing you some joy. I've got this piece sitting here and I thought, no, too bright. I need to finish that and put it on the wall. Oh, that's right. And I've got this one here too, which is textural and chunky. Oh, and I've got that one as well. I'll cover that up so there's not too much light. This pink doesn't come out the right colour on for some reason. Don't know. There we are. It's just a little start. and I don't know what she's going to be called. But thank you, whatever happens, for sharing this time with me. Stay well and happy stitching until we see each other again. Bye.